Welcome to a short lecture on how to identify dissections and intramural hematomas on IVUS, intravascular imaging. If you are not super comfortable with IVUS or normal IVUS, stop watching this video and go back to the IVUS and OCT normal vessel video so that you can get very comfortable with normal before moving on to these more complex image interpretation examples. But if you've already mastered IVUS, awesome, congratulations, and welcome to just a little step up in your knowledge now that we go into the abnormal. Okay, so you wanted examples of perforation and then of dissection. Well, really with a perforation, you aren't IVUSing unless you're checking that it's sealed, and really you're going to confirm that with angiography first, because putting this type of equipment down there, if you think there's perforation, actually risks making the perforation worse. So you can use it after, to check for a seal and all of that, and there's no residual dissections, but you really hopefully aren't going to be using that in that case. Instead, mostly what you're going to be using it for is dissection, stent edge dissection, and then dissections can progress into intramural hematomas, which is essentially bleeding right within the vessel walls, but it's not a perforation because it's not exiting the vessel walls. So it's contained, still at risk of perforation and other things, but you can identify it with intravascular imaging. So what I chose the clearest examples. This one is probably the blurriest one, and I say blurry, but it is what the image is. Kind of the higher frequency of the transducer and lens that you are using, the clearer that image quality will be. But you don't always have access to all of the options. So what you have is what you have, and your image quality will vary from the different types of catheters that you're using, if you're in the coronaries or if you're in the vascular space, because remember we use IVUS in the vascular space as well. So that is going to look a little different in those scenarios also. But the first thing you're going to do is identify the IVUS catheter, right? And then you have those concentric circles that are all part of the catheter. The next color change is going to be the lumen. And what I want you to pay attention to here is even after that lumen and kind of this shading here that's all about the same color, you do see the white, remember, would be what? The intima. Okay, and then the black would be the media, which there is black out here. So we'll pay attention to that, right? There's black out here, but do you see a black line right here? Okay, so this is what we're gonna call like the true media. And then the reason you're seeing this out here, and then remember, what color is the adventitia? The adventitia is white, so you see it changes from black to white here. So the adventitia is out here. So what is between here and here? Because it's technically, if you notice, remember where's plaque? Between the intima and the media, right? So what you have here is you have the intima, the media, maybe adventitia, not sure, right? But let's say intima, media, something going on back here, and then adventitia. So that is kind of where the dissection part comes in. And when it's this far out, remember, the blood in the lumen, or the blood in the vessel, can come from two places, right? It can come from the lumen because that's where blood is, and then it can also come from the media because the media is vascularized as well. So some of the adventitia, but we won't go into that. So what happens is when you have a dissection of some part, it is hard to see in here where the dissection originates. You never diagnose off of just one tomographic image, right? You're going to see a whole run of images. But let's say if this is the lumen, and let's say the entry point is here, there's wire artifact here that's in the way, but let's say the entry point is here, that blood in the lumen is now going behind the media and between the media and adventitia and creating this pool of blood. And that's where you get that hematoma, okay, intramural hematoma, that is out between the vessel layers, which makes this lumen look very small because it's kind of compressing it from the outside in. So these two pictures actually are of the same, well, this one and this one are of the same vessel. So why is the texture right here different than the texture right here? So what this is actually showcasing, because this is the lumen, right? This is blood, but this is also blood. So why is this blood different than this blood? Well, what's happening here is blood in the lumen. Is it moving or not moving normally? Moving, right? It's moving blood going from the proximal to distal part of the vessel. So this is what moving blood looks like on IVUS. So back here, this is stagnant blood, okay? So this blood is not moving. So then what happens from here to here? Now this texture looks similar to this texture, right? So both of these are moving blood. So what does that tell me? That tells me that at this point, this lumen is still connected to where the hematoma is. Now at this point, it wasn't, right? So here, there's maybe the entry point was here, but maybe it sealed off and this wasn't moving anymore. Now the problem is from here, these two things are still communicating, that means that the hematoma is receiving blood, meaning it has the ability to grow and continue to develop. So like if I did an IVUS and I saw this, okay, and it stayed that way, I'd be like, well, okay, maybe that's kind of a stable hematoma because there is no connection of it being able to receive blood. There's, in this case, minimal movement, but if this was all black, no movement. Whereas here, you still have blood, it is still receiving blood flow and has the ability to develop. So, not a big, not something you see very often, but when there is a case example, being able to showcase that, that's actually a really cool thing to be able to see. Okay, this one, different, completely different, like texture, we'll say, right? Quality of IVUS. But you're going to use the same tool. So I know it's pointed out there for you. But this one is a different type of dissection. So this dissection, it started creating this kind of bleeding behind the walls versus here is a little different where the flap comes into the lumen. So you have the catheter, you have definitely, right, this darker lumen out here. You have your media actually out here. Okay, so your intima is here because that's the wider part, the media, and then the adventitia. So in here, this was all the lumen. So you have this intimal flap that kind of separated from the wall and comes into your lumen space. Okay, so remember the only really two things, well, a couple of things that should be inside of the lumen is blood, right, which we have, equipment, which we have, the catheter, and then the wire artifact, which is actually over here, stent, if you had a stent, clot, right, clot and thrombus could develop there, or if you have a dissection, right, then you would have kind of this piece of the intima in there. Now, really you need to match what you're looking at here with angiography because you would have some of that haziness in your angiography that wasn't there before, and you would kind of match that when you're putting your IVUS catheter down, match that with what you're seeing on IVUS. Okay, and then just on the side here, they have it outlined for you. Okay, this one, again, different, kind of a lower quality IVUS compared to the other two. So catheter in the middle, wire artifact is right here. Okay, lumen is the next color change, right? So this kind of black. Now, if I just outlined where I thought the lumen was, you see again, there's this darker black texture. It's all about the same. And then you have this whiter, right? And the whiter we know is either going to be clot, thrombus, or a dissection flap. The next white color change is the intima. The outer black band here is the media. There's definitely plaque kind of in between these two. And then adventitia out here. So this is another dissection flap, very similar to the flap that you saw up here. Now, this is actually very similar to what thrombus looks like on IVUS. They look very similar in color and texture. So again, the only way you're really going to tell the difference is context. Could you have both this and maybe there's some thrombus here? Yes. But you see, this is kind of more organized, right? Like a actual flap versus thrombus would probably look a bit disorganized like this. Okay, so you are looking also at that, the kind of, not symmetry of it, but the smoothness of it to tell, is this tissue or is this clot? And then same thing here, you could have a hematoma kind of develop in this space a little bit, or thrombus develop in this space. Same kind of idea, just one's more organized than the other. This one's kind of the worst case scenario up here. At least these you can kind of stent and tack up because you know where it is. But these are just a little more difficult to deal with. So I hope that helps. Perforation, you really want to look at on angiography. I know dissection on OCT is a little more obvious, so it's good to practice on OCT to know like your vessel layers and know where kind of the dissection would develop, and then match that to IVUS imaging where it's not as clear, but you understand your order of operations here, and you know you have that clear picture in your mind, right, on OCT of what the dissection looks like in what order, and you can kind of like overlay that mentally here and be like, oh yeah, okay, this is the catheter, this is the lumen, I do see the media here, what is this going on out here? Or, okay, yep, I see the catheter, I see the lumen, I know the intima is out here, why is the intima in the lumen? The only way that would happen is if something went behind here and created this dissection. Adventitia is out here. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this in the future as you are on this wonderful journey that we call the cath lab.